Good afternoon, YouTube. I'll warn you now, I'm in a very funny mood this afternoon. I've been procrastinating. I'm not the world's greatest procrastinator, but I have been, and I've got into a bit of a blah. So I'm cheering myself up with a bit of sewing, and I thought I'd just switch the camera on and make you come with me. I'm sewing, hold on, bear with me, sorry. 2 secs. Completing this little art, sunflower art journal that I said I was going to make out of the. What was I going to make it out of? I don't know. Anyway, I thought I'd make an art journal version of the Big Junk Journal. So I've individually. Hold it there. I've individually. Um, see, it's going to be one of them days. Sponge printed the sunflower heads onto a piece of cream. It's quite a puffy fabric actually, so it's quite nice. It sort of looks a bit quilted, but so yeah, I've done that. A bit of fabric collage, yeah, and then another bit of fabric collage on the back. I've done it on this blue one that I printed for you guys. It's a blue piece of fabric, and yeah, it's great. I quite like it. So I did find some little, let's see if I can hold these up, some little sunflower charms. I'm contemplating putting one on here somewhere, but I haven't decided yet. So anyway, I've got the pages ready. It's going to be a elastic one, so the pages can go in and out, you know, as to your heart's content. I've actually sewn the cover onto a blue file folder. I don't know if you can see the, that's the file folder there. So what the heck is that crease? I'll get the iron on it, it'll be fine. Yeah, so it's cardboard inside, so it's a nice, you know, sort of semi-stiff cover if you like, so quite nice. Yeah, I just need to do the elastic on that. So what I'm faffing around at the moment, I pop that there, is this one. That's what I was going to, I always intended this one to go in a, I printed that the first time I did my gel printing with the sunflowers. So I always intended to make that into a bag and then put an art journal in it, which is what I'm currently doing. But I've been faffing around with it for the last, I don't know how long. So anyway, I'm going to scoot you down now because I'm just sewing the cover, and I thought I'd bring you with me. You might be interested. Hold tight. Let's move you down. Now, you're not on the big tripod today, so hopefully you won't fall over. So I'll show. Let me just stitch it, and then I'll show you what I've done. So, oh, no, size 3, thank you. Okay, I'm just going to carefully top stitch now. Hopefully, 2 seconds, and I'll show you what I've done. Just wanting to get that bit top stitched. So this is the back. I put pockets in it. I've extended the bottom because I want to do a slightly boxed bottom, and I thought if I box it with this, it's going to make it incredibly small. So I've added a nice piece of really soft denim. It's lovely. It's really nice. We've got a nice spotty interior because I thought that would be quite cheery. Sorry, not the best angle. There we are. And the bit I've been faffing around with is how I'm going to close the cover, basically, because, right, pretend this is all stitched. I didn't want to do a big cover that would come over and hide all of the sunflowers. Let me angle you down a little bit more. Yeah, so my dilemma was I didn't want to cover the sunflower print here. Oh, it just, I'm still not sure if this will work actually looking at it. It might be right once it's had a good press. But what I thought was I've got some press studs and I might just put one, no, see it's not going to work, is it? See, I was going to put a zip in the top, but I thought that was just a little bit meh for an art journal. Should I just sew it and see how that goes? See, I've top stitched it down there, which is fine. Maybe I didn't leave it long enough. Might be right once it's pressed over actually. You're not seeing what I'm doing. Yes, I thought maybe just a press stud there. I'll sew the other side and we'll have a look. Right, I just need to, sorry, this is not going to be very entertaining. Back to normal size. So yeah, it's been a funny old day. I did cut my grass though, I was a good girl. It was a bit cooler this morning, so I cut it and trimmed the life out of it. It's all nice and neat and tidy. So really, until we get some rain, which is something we're lacking actually. I thought it was going to rain today, but it hasn't. Until we get some rain, it should be good for a little while, so hopefully. Right. That's that there. I'm going to top stitch that bit down as well. Actually, I need to do it on the other bit as well. How big do I want you? I'll put you on that stitch. You're not far enough over. Right. Okay. Oh, decisions, decisions. I'm waiting for the courier to turn up to pick up a load of parcels. I need to go to the post office. But Sod's Law says as soon as I leave to go to the post office, he'll turn up. I don't usually do the collection thing, but a thing came up on eBay saying that Hermes are doing pickup for the same price as you taking it to a parcel shop. So I thought, fine, okay, that'll be fine. Saves me a trip down the other end of the village. So I opted for it to be picked up. I don't know if I'll do it again, I'll be honest, because it's all the waiting around and waiting in thing that I think that's what's thrown me off, because normally I have a bit of a plan for a day and then I get on with it, but yeah. Right, that's fairly straight, well done. Okay. I just need to sew the lining to this one. Spotty lining. Ooh, that's the right sides together. Line it up. I don't bother to do the quarter, half inch, whatever that malarkey is. I just use the size of my foot, side of my foot, to that size. Yeah, very funny day. Like I say, I think it is the whole having to wait in for the courier thing that's thrown me out. So. Yeah, it's your fault, my Hermes. Don't blame them, why not? Let's just do a quick. So I hope everyone's well, keeping safe. I haven't been watching the news, so I don't know what the latest is on the coronavirus. As I've said before, I don't have a TV, and I'm not trapped in that 10 o'clock news thing like a lot of people are. So I don't know. I live in my own little bubble. Anything could be going on outside. My daughters usually keep me well informed, bless them. Now, if I stitch that wide, it's going to catch the top. So let's scoot it over a bit. There's a little dink inside my walking foot there, so I'll use that as my guide. Take you out of the way. I sold a Christmas journal. I'm very confused as to why some people would buy a Christmas journal in April, but I guess it could be that they're sorting out all their Christmas photos. I have no idea, but I'm very grateful. It's going to be winging its way to America tomorrow, so that's all good. Right. Okay. I might regret top stitching, but let's see how it goes. Right, I'm going to put this together. I can always unpick it if it's really bad. Which I've got a funny feeling it's going to look really bad. So the most important thing is when you're making these bags and things is to line up all your seams. Even if you don't quite line up at this bit, this here and this here must line up, because if that doesn't line up, God, it looks dreadful on your finished bag. So just going to carefully clip that one, and hopefully, this is why I might regret top stitching, because these might not line up very well, but we shall do our best. Right, I think we've got it there. So that's those two, and always remember to leave a hole in your lining so that you can turn it through. Try to think how many times I've forgotten to do that sometimes. Kind of drives me nuts, but never mind. Right, pin cushion clips. Okay, and just line up that one. Alright, I'm going to box the corners like I said, so I'm going to start up here. I'm going to make these linings match up. Or am I? No, I don't want to end up with a pucker. Let's move it down so that they match. I think that's because I top stitched. That's probably out. That's probably what's thrown that out. So it's fine. It'll be fine. Right, that'll do. Right. Okay. I always leave a good hand's width to be able to turn. So, of course, now I've got a wonky bottom. So let's stitch it from this side. Start about there. Okay, looks good. You can, of course, pin all the way around if you want to. I say the only bits I concentrate on are where the seams match, especially if you're doing pieced bits like I've done with the denim. Just move back a bit. Yeah, because they're the bits, you know, you've got to have. It looks a mess if you don't. It doesn't look a mess. It doesn't look professional. Go on. There you go. I know. Sorry, I know you're wobbling. Just like to slow it down over the thicker bits, because there's quite a thick lump here, so just make sure that's lining up. Hopefully it's all lined up, which you'll see in a moment. I've got to the last scraps of my polyester wadding, the fusible stuff anyway. So I'm having to literally use scraps at the moment. Aren't you straight? Lean on the table, stop you wobbling. Sorry, I'm trying to get this done quickly. You know, some people don't mind watching you stitch, but I think for some people it drives them a little bit bonkers. It's like, going fast forward. Well, they haven't learned editing yet. Might give it another go though. It's one of those things, it's all sort of, I think for our age group, I mean for my daughter it's like, oh, you just do that, mother. Yeah, but you know, you've grown up with this technology, we haven't. Actually, we might be dinosaurs, but we are useful. Keep telling them that. I don't think they believe me. Right, last bit. Well, until we box the corners. Right, let's have a look and see how we did. See if we've got, about any miracle, it's all lined up. Because if it hasn't, I'm just going to bin this video because I am in such a weird mood today. I don't know why I'm doing that because I don't need to. Let's have a look first and then I'll come back and box the corners. I just want to make sure that that top is going to work. I don't think it is, but let's have a look. Come on, there you go. There's a lot of fabric there. Now then. Right, you're going to see before me, did I line up? Oh, she shoots, she scores. Yeah, see what I mean? It just gives you a lovely continuous line all the way around then. Did I get this side on? Oh, yes. Happy days. Yep, cool. Tops of lines. Yep, near enough. Near enough for my liking. Right, I'm not going to turn it all the way through. I just want to see if this is going to work. It might be enough, you know, because all it's got to do is just stop the journal falling out. And it's going to be quite a bit deeper than the actual journal, the pocket. I hope it's wide enough. What do I do with the journal? Oh, crikey. Sorry, guys. God, you must hate me. Right, hold on. Let's spread the spider legs a bit. Sorry. Oh, see, now that's classic Susan, isn't it? You Wally. Okay, well, there'll be a lovely little bag. A lovely little bag. And a separate journal. It doesn't fit in it. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, I'll have to make something else. God damn it. Oh. You see what I mean? It's just one of them days where nothing is going to go right. and you just sort of think, why did I even bother to get out of bed this morning? Oh well. It'll be a lovely little pen case if nothing else. I'm going to finish it. I'll make another cover for the journal. I've got some denim left, I think. I might just do it plain denim, actually. I think that'll look quite nice, and do a bit of fabric collage on it. Oh, lordy. Right, okay. Let's get these corners boxed. Right. Now, the easiest way it'll behave is to just flap it open, and you can normally feel where your seams are. But if you can't, and I'm struggling here, right, I can't even see my sewing thread. Doesn't help. Right there. So if you just stab one side and then stab the other, see, I'm well off there, so I need to come right over. You see in this here. So there, you can see the stitches that side. So I've got the needle through there, and needle, no pin, and then the pin through that side. You can just see the stitched line there. So if you do that, at least you know that when your pin is straight, you are lined up. If it's going to do it, you're going to behave. Right. Okay. This isn't the world's best demo, sorry guys. Right. Let's just do the same with the other side. I'll decide how deep I'm going to do them. I might do an inch or so. Can't believe I've made it too small for the journal. I know exactly what I've done wrong. I'm really tempted to unpick it actually, because what I was going to do was just zigzag the edges. That way I would have had all that space, wouldn't I? Shall I? Yeah, see, that's what I was going to do. Sorry, you see. I was intending to just zigzag the edges like I do on my journals, and just that way it would have fitted. You can see there's plenty of room, but decisions. Right, I'm going to do it. Right, sorry, you're going to see me. Would I need to do the lining as well? Yes, I would, wouldn't I? Oh, God. Right. No, I'm going to sew this as a bag, and we'll have the journal in another bag. Because I am in such a weird mood that I've got a serious amount of can't be bothered. Oh, which is very naughty. I very rarely get like this, but it's just one of those days, I think. I'll tell you what's funking me out actually at the moment is my poor daughter. She was going to get married in September, but with the way things are going at the moment, she said, "Mum, I'm going to have to cancel my wedding." I was like, why? And she said, well, you know, if we're still in lockdown, if this is still going on, you know, she said, I'm not going to be able to have hardly anybody at the wedding, and they wanted a nice, you know, a good shindig basically. I could have cried for her. I thought, you know, they've been waiting, gosh, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years they've had this planned, and you know, I'm not blaming the virus. It's not the virus's fault, but it's just, you know, it's just so sad, isn't it? You know, they've done all this planning, all this saving. They booked the venue, got the dresses, everything, and you know, it's all going to have to go on hold. But she's being quite pragmatic about it, actually. She said, well, she said, even if we do have to postpone it, that's okay, because we'll be able to save some more money and all this, that and the other. And I thought, blimey, where did you come from, child? You're so blooming good. I'd have been spitting feathers, you know. So yeah, she's a totally different temperament to her mum, thank goodness. Right, I'm going to go, ooh, what am I going to go? Should I go 3 centimetres? Sorry, I haven't got my inch rulers down here. Yeah, 3 centimeters, just over an inch, isn't it? So right, let's draw a line. Sorry, this is not a good demonstration, and like I said, excuse me, but it's one of those weird days. Right, I can't talk because I've got a pen in my mouth now. Let's get that sewn. Oh, if this turns out any good, I'll be very surprised. I took the pen out. Right, 3 centimeters. Yes, I think all my girls have had enough. The children are bored to tears, and the oldest daughter said, you know, I think little one's fed up with my company. And I said, well, she's a very sociable child. She does an awful lot of sociable stuff, you know. So she's the one that likes the horse riding and the taekwondo and all the other stuff that she likes to do. When they're made like that, it's very hard. My other daughter said, and do I agree? I don't know. But she said, seriously, she said, we've been locked down for a month now, not seen anybody, always that and the other. Can't we see our family that we know that haven't got it? And I was like, well, I mean, the theory's there, but, you know, you just, what do you do? I'd be gutted if one of my grandchildren called it, if I happened to be a carrier, but then I'd have shown symptoms by now, wouldn't I? I would have thought. Let's see if we, oh, I need to box this one. Yeah, I don't know. It's all very odd. I think we all are pretty desperate to get back to a sense of normality, aren't we? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying my working from home, but this one's quite thin, so I should be able to see through this one. But yeah, it's that whole routine thing that I think I'm missing as well. It's you know, and as I say, I love having my not my days planned, but you know, projects planned and things like that. But I think because I know I'm going to be home anyway, I'm not planning properly, and I think that's what's driving me a bit nuts actually. So yeah, so I need to get my head together and get some plans done. I've got my Anne Brooks challenge thingy almost done. So well, it is done. I just need to. I've decided to stitch it into kind of a wall hanging. I'll show you in a second. Let me just do this one. And then I want to start another one. I've been very naughty. I've ordered some new. You have to use. It's almost like a perlé cotton. To do the stitching, which I love, you know, I personally love it. So well, you have to order over £25 worth to get free shipping, of course. I know. I'd save myself the shipping cost if I hadn't ordered so much, but I'll use it. It'll go in my stash for times, you know, God forbid, the next pandemic. Oh dear. I don't think I've done that one right. Let's have a quick look. It doesn't look the same depth as that one. Oh, it's because I cut the corner off, that's why. Okay. Right, this could be either the most amazing bag in the world or a complete disaster, which you know, the bin men will find. Let's have a look. Let's see what we ended up with. I thought the spots were fun. They'd be quite nice inside. Make you want to reach inside for your journal that now won't fit. I might make one that'll fit it actually. It's not like I haven't got any ingredients. So, oh, she was close. Actually, that's pretty bob on. Yeah, so that line there, that's the reason why we do the whole thing with the pin, is to line that up there basically. So, and oh dear, out on that one. No, okay, damn. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it annoys me. Oh, I've got the rest bob on. That's typical, isn't it? I wonder if I stitch. Which one was it? That one. No, I can't because they are same size, aren't they? Yeah, no. Okay, I'll just have to live with that and breathe. It's fine. Okay, so last thing to do is just sew up this seam and we'll have a look and see what we got. Quick finger press. Need to start about there. What you do is you just take a bare skim. I mean, you can do it by hand, but I don't. I mean, it's as simple as that, really. No excuses. I just don't. I'm getting very worried about my machine. I fired up the other one the other day just to make sure that was working. So I've got a funny feeling this is just going to go, yeah, no more at some point. So I could have done with putting white thread in there, couldn't you, Susan? Okay. So we'll have a little look, see what we've got. So it's damn cute. Scoot you up a tiny bit. There we are. Yeah, so it's cute. Nice. This is the bit that is worrying me. It might just need a darn good pressing. I should have left the top stitching. Oh, see, it's all coming through now, isn't it? Should have left the top stitching till now. I haven't made a bag for a while, so kind of a bit rusty actually. So that's the trouble. If you don't make something for a while, you get very rusty. So I think a good pressing might sort that out, and then it'll sit on top there. And what I was envisaging was putting a popper there. Could do with more though, couldn't it? And what I could do, I could extend that actually. I could. Let me just angle you down a bit. So this is where the problem is. It's not. See, it's just not enough. I didn't leave enough. But what I could do is actually stitch some lace on here on the top, and have like a. I could have the lace underneath. Actually, that might look better. And then threads, and then that would extend that down. I could do like a. Yeah, see, this is the problem. I didn't want to cover the sunflowers. I should have just done a zip, shouldn't I? I shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay, all right. I'm going to think about that, and I'll let you know what I do with it. But anyway, right, that's pain. That's enough pain for that for today. Let's put it in the naughty corner. And have a look at this. Oh dear. I don't know what that dent is there, but anyway. Okay. So I've done my usual mixed media paper, tracing paper, and then some of my gel prints I've put in here as well. So again, it's just going to be a elastic bound one, so Let me get my elastic and my crocodile. Well, the crocodile's here. 2 seconds. Right. Are you long enough? Come here. Yeah, that'll be long enough. Right, that piece will be long enough. Now, do I need to colour it? Yes, I do. Okay, I'll show you this trick. I think I told you about it before, but I'll show you it. I'll show you it now. Let me just shove the sewing machine out of the way. Don't need that for a minute. Sorry, excuse the noise. Hopefully it doesn't knock the camera down. Right. Okay, let's have a little bit of a little tidy, shall we? Right. You go over there. You can go back on the pin cushion in a minute. And you, thank you. Okay, so so what you can do. So these are Spectrum Noir pens. Any ink, anything really. It doesn't even have to be a pen. I'll be honest with you. It can be whatever you want it to be. Scrap piece of paper, bit of book paper will do fine. Make sure that you can see. Yes. Right. So all I do is these are the ones that have got a fat end and a thin end. Thin end's on that end. So what I tend to do is just pin it down with the fat end and then just pull it through, or just, you know, move the pen up the elastic. Right. Love the smell of these pens. And that's all you do. Okay, so that's enough for that colour. So I'm just going to mix it with, let's go for a tanny brown colour because there's quite a lot of brown. See, that's the thin end, and that's too thin. You want the wedgy end. Okay, that one. I'll say these are Spectrum Noirs, but anything will do. I've done it with Tim Holtz inks before. Just spray it and just leave it. Same as a lot of people, you do the seam binding with the Tim Holtz sprays. You can, you could do it with this if you spray it with alcohol. Once you've got the pen on, then spray it with alcohol. It comes out really nice actually. So we just need to let that dry for a bit, and then lo and behold, we have a nice coloured piece of elastic, not bright white anymore, which will look quite nice on our journal. So I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Let's punch the holes. So I've left the cover a bit big, so that's fine. So what I'll do, let me see here, I'll punch a hole about just a couple of mil down from the top of the page there, or just within the stitch boundaries. I don't really want to punch through the stitching if I can help it. And I tend to use, this is a crocodile. Wish I'd have got the big bite. How many more times am I going to say that? There's a big hole on this one, and then there's a slightly smaller one, and I'm going to do the slightly smaller one. So all you do is put it in, line it up ish. Where are you? There you are. And punch. Okay, and it goes through no problem. You see that? Yeah. Do the same this end. Knock out the bit that's in there so you can see what you're doing, and let's come down a bit there, and that will punch you through the fabric. See, there's the fabric and the card. It punches through a lot of layers. They're really good. I don't know how I managed without one now. I really don't. So right, let's get some eyelets. What colour should we do? You can just see the holes in the cover there. One there and one there. Put my finger behind it. There we are. Of course, then you got to choose your colour of your eyelet. Some people call them grommets. Either. I've got a nice bronzy colour actually. Oh no, coppery copper colour, so I think I'll use those. Let's have a look, see what they look like. I do the little hole because I like to have these proper forced in here, basically. To me it gives it a nicer finish. So let's just shove that through as best we can. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. That'll come out. I used a bit of bronze. Was it bronze? Oh, it's copper. Copper paint on the flowers. So it's a. Did it give it a shimmer? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so the eyelets are in, and then what I tend to do is, it's got. This is the setter piece. I don't understand this thing here. I'm really lazy at things like that, so I just leave it on that one. And then what I tend to do is the bit that sticks down. Can you see that? There. I put that in the top. I don't know if it's the right way around actually, but this is the way I do it. And you just put it through, and it automatically more or less lines itself up. Give it a squeeze. I'll show you the other side in a second. Let's just do this one. Yep, that's good enough for me. And that's the other side. Okay, you don't really see it. I mean, once the once all the paper's in and the elastic and everything, you don't see it. So you can cover it if you want to. I tend not to. Now it's up to you if you want the knot on the outside or inside. I tend to do it on the inside. I like the cover to look nice, basically. So I'll just show you actually. See, that looks better. If that was white, that would look a bit meh. So yeah. So right over left. Hold it, and then left over right. You just want a little bit of tension. You don't want a lot. You don't want to be buckling your cover, but you do need a little bit of tension, otherwise it won't hold the paper in securely. Give it a good tug. I tend to put a little dab of glue on actually, but I won't do that now. And then it's just a simple case of your papers slip inside. Okay, and that way it makes it really easy. If you want to take the paper out to work on it, you know, obviously you just in and out as much as you want. So I quite like journals like that. Like a bit of flexibility. Line that back up. What are you doing? Thank you. Yeah, so that's that. And then you've got a nice, because this is where, as I say, it was a file folder, so you've got a big pocket here, and then another one at the back. I'm not going to bother because, you know, when you fold paper it always ends up wonky donkey on the edge because of the displacement this end, but I'm not going to worry about that because, you know, it might not stay in here. Whoever gets it, you know, might do other things with it. I don't know. So there it is. That's the little, that's the thinner version of the big one. And yeah, the disastrous bag. Oh, I've done my own head in over that. I might. No, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say I might sit and unpick all that tonight, but I don't think I will, because it means I'm picking the whole thing. And I think my idea with the lace might work actually. So, because it just needs to come down a little bit more. I could even just do, you know, like a wider flap here and just not worry about covering up the flowers, because that is a sweet little bag. Okay, right, we'll leave it there. I'll just show you something. I have been watching, what is she called? Quilt Roadie? Yeah, American lady, lovely. And she does a lot of workshops with a lady called Sue Spargo. Let me talk to you properly, hold on. And she does a lot of workshops with a lady called Sue Spargo, who's out in America. She's not, well, I don't think she comes over here, but anyway. And I think she had this book on her desk, and I thought, you know, when she was doing her YouTube video, and I thought, wow, if that is an instruction book, I really love hand stitching and things like that. Oh, I've got to show you the other one as well. And I thought, wow, that would be great, you know, because I could get really inspired by a book like that, where it showed, and I thought it was going to be an instructional book, basically, where, you know, she shows you all the stitches and things like that. It's not, is it? No. Susan's a Wally. It's like a diary. Okay, it's got pages like that. Can you see? Yeah, so it's got grid pages, and it's got play. It's my own fault. I just didn't read the description on Amazon properly. But I'm not going to cry over this because, I mean, how flipping inspiring is some of this work? So actually, I don't. Do I need? No, I don't think I do need to know how to do some of these stitches because, you know, I've got lots of embroidery books. Get the sun off it. I've got lots of embroidery books and things like that, and I just wanted the picture inspiration, you know, which actually this is giving me. So I mean, you know, it's gorgeous. Some lovely work. I mean, she does amazing work, obviously, but yeah. So even though it was a misbuy, I'm quite happy with it. So let me just show you the last bit. 2 seconds. Oh. Right, this is my little glorious basket of loveliness. I'll show you how tight. Scoot you down. Right. I made up this lovely basket of loveliness. I put a photo on Instagram and everybody liked it, so that was all good. So yeah, that's all the leftovers. I've finished the challenge. So right, I'll scoot you down even further. Hold tight. There we are. It seems to be having to hold it off too. So the main pieces, I mean, it's just all hand stitching, all right. And that the idea is that you do it on a great big long roll, and you store it on a huge cotton reel, basically. Well, you know, trust me, I didn't want to do that, did I? No. So what I'm intending to do, sorry, I'm just going to scoot you back up again. What I'm intending to do is I've got this, I've lost the end. Oh, there it is. I've got I think they're called bell pulls, basically. So I've got the 2 bits on here at the moment. But what I'm planning to do is make it into a wall hanging. Surprise, surprise. So that'll be one piece. And then what I'm intending to do, I've done these 2 little pieces, is leave a gap and have it hanging, you know, loose through threads or whatever. And then on the other side, on here, is have a short piece and then have the other long piece dangling from it, and again with a gap with bits on it and all the rest of it. So I'm thinking that might be quite effective actually. So we shall see. Let me just show you. Yeah, so the idea is you stitch on things like sequins, little hexes, trim, you do lots of hand stitching. Those are called, I can't remember. You put on pins and, you know, French knots. What the hell? Pistel stitch. French knots. Trying to think what else. Oh, and then you sort of patchwork fabric over the top, and you're just making lots and lots of layers. There's pins there. Why are you slipping? Yep. So pins there, and then trim. And lots of hand stitching on there. I don't know if you can actually pick it up. This is Rick Rack, and then I've done French knots on top, and then there's French knots all through here, and then simple, just followed the lines there. A bit of blanket stitch on the edge. So I'm intending to mount this onto a backing fabric, and what I thought was I would do it on Hessian, because I'm thinking that when this big bit is stitched and this bit's stitched on, if I leave a gap and if I line it up right, I'll be able to pull the threads in between. Could work. Why not? It's going to be a headache. I know it is. I'll just quickly show you the other bits as well. So more pins there, more stitching, lots of little hexes, trims, buttons, Rick Rack, Suffolk Puffs, or yo-yos, some people call them. Oh, flowers upside down. Well, it doesn't matter, it's going to hang the other way anyway. Bits of lace that I dyed with Tim Holtz sprays, actually. I had the Twisted Citron and Lemon Sherbet, I think it's called. Did some Suffolk Puffs in the bright fabrics. I wanted to go neon. Oh boy, did I. And yeah, so I picked out all my most craziest fabrics. And there's the little diddy one. But yeah, that'll hang that way basically. So yeah, so that's that done. I'm intending to do another one, but not in such, craziness. So I'm hoping that my idea of stitching it onto Hessian will work. Let me talk to you properly. I'm hoping, wonky, hold tight. I'm hoping it'll work, and then if it does, I'll show you the finished article, because I quite like the idea of having, not between these two, but having the gap here, and then just having threads, which Hessian would give me. And then I can oversew zigzag it onto the Hessian. I wonder if that'll work. I'll give it a go. I'll try it on a bit of scrap fabric first, and then because this is a lot of work here. Don't judge my back, it's disgusting. So anyway, this is why I bought a load of threads, because I've got quite a few embroidery silks and things, but I really wanted some nice shiny pearly cotton. So I'm trying to find the bit where I actually used pearly cotton now. Oh, this bit here, it was a tie-dye one. Craziness. So anyway, yeah, I've done quite a bit on there. That'll be fun to get that finished and mounted, actually. And then I'm really keen to start the next one, because the next one I'm really thinking of doing just a really plain background. Oh, I don't know, it's kind of Sue Spargo-ish. Where's the book? I love that idea, and I think that's felt by the looks of it, and it's just embroidered felt, because I did a while ago, quite a few years ago, I made these, and the idea is you put a chopstick through, and they're hair, for ponytails. Anyway, yeah, so that's a sort of Sue Spargo-esque, and I quite like that. I love doing those. I really enjoyed making those. And I found them recently. They were buried. Another one somewhere. 2 seconds, talk amongst yourselves. There we are. I did a blue one as well. So, and then that's similar sort of thing really that Anne Brooke is doing. It's stitching on. I mean, that was felt beads, hand embroidery, and again that is a. Hang on. Yeah, the idea is that you would put your hair in there, yeah, and then I've got, you wouldn't use that. I've got some short what are they called? Chopsticks. Oh crikey, I've got some short ones that I was dyeing again with the Spectrum Noir pens, actually, and that worked really well, so I was able to colour match them to the hair tie things. I might make some more again, actually. They're really nice. I used to use them myself when my hair was a lot longer, because it was, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Crystal Tips and Alistair. I was Crystal Tips. So bonkers hair. Yeah. So I'm thinking the nice gap in between the bits. I mean, obviously it'll be a little one up here, but yeah, it could be quite a really nice effective wall hanging. One shall give it a go. And the other thing I did was, because this is called slow stitching, I found some alphabet beads. I'm going to tip these everywhere, aren't I? And basically I've spelt out slow stitching and put them on bulb pins, like so. Stay still. So I shall pin that onto the finished wall hanging, and we shall see, and then I'll get on with the next one. So yeah, quite keen to start that, actually. And so I've just been in a right funk today. I'm just like, I've done nothing. and that annoys me because you know, it's, yeah, I really wanted to make loads today and I haven't. Plans ahead though, I've got I need to make some, oh, what would you call them, project bags I suppose. Now bear with me. Ugh. I've had, Christ, this weighs a ton. I've had this massive roll of, I've got to put it down, hang on, oh god, it's heavy, this really thick plastic, you can hear it, which is perfect. And again, I think it was Quilting Roadies or something. She made some project bags, see-through project bags basically, and I thought perfect, because you know I've got little bits like, hang on, just put this down. Oh, I've got little bits, little twiddly bits that I'm playing with and stuff like that. And I thought, well, if I'm making a journal, I can, you know, put all the bits for a journal in it and stuff like that. So I thought that would be brilliant, is to make a plastic clear fronted ones. And I think you put fabric at the back. Would I do it double plastic? I might have a go actually. That could be quite handy. Yeah, see through all the way. But anyway, I won't think about that. So yeah, I thought for a horrible moment that I'd got rid of that big roll because it is so big and so bulky, and I can't even remember where I got it and when I got it, but I've had it for quite a long time, and I've moved house a couple of times, and whenever it comes to it, and I just think, just get rid of it. You're not using it, get rid of it. And I'm so glad I didn't listen to myself, because I found it at the top of my wardrobe, so that was good. Because I was convinced that I'd got rid of it, but I'm really glad I hadn't, because when I saw the bags being made, I thought, well, that's perfect. I really could do with that. Make myself some of those. So that'll be that. And then the other thing I'm going to do is, it's gone. That experimental journal. It's gone. I'm going to expand on that because I've been thinking about the whole concept of it and the whole idea of it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else do it. So yeah, I'll come back to you on that one anyway, and give you my thoughts on that. So I'm going to stop now because that's 57 minutes. It seriously is like a time warp when I come in here. So thanks ever so much for listening to me waffle on. I haven't forgotten that I'm going to show you how to make your own cords like this. Dead easy, honestly. The bag was a disaster. The journal's all right. That's happy. I'm happy with that. That's fine. I'll make a new bag for that. Sort that journal out, bag out rather, and get my lovely wall hanging done, and sit and digest this lovely book. I don't think I'll ever use it as a journal, but a diary, because it's, yeah, sort of diary. No, I suppose, I don't know, put some notes in it and things. But anyway, loveliness in there. Thank you very much, and thank you for commenting, and thank you to my new subscriber. It's lovely having you with me. So have a lovely day, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, bye.